I recently came across an unbelievable story about a truly remarkable educator. His name is Rafe Esquith, and he has received a couple of awards, including the Use Your Life Award from Oprah Winfrey and the Walt Disney Teacher of the Year Award. Mr. Esquith's latest book, Teach Like Your Hair's on Fire, has caught the attention of the world, and today we are honored to be talking with some of Mr. Esquith's former and current students. First of all, let's talk a little about the man himself. How would you all describe Rafe Esquith?
He's terrific. He's the best teacher at our school, and he's been teaching for a really long time.
Does anyone know exactly how long Rafe has been at Hobart?
27 years. He started in 1984.
Rafe does a lot of other things at our school too. He teaches the class about computers, and me and my mom really enjoyed that.
He also tutors students. He helped me with algebra.
Rafe got me involved with sports. He got me involved in sports. He taught me everything I need to know about sports, and now I love baseball.
I brought along a quote from when he was introduced into knighthood. British Ambassador Sir Christopher Meyer called Rafe one of that rare breed of teachers whose influence extends well beyond the classroom. His remarkable career stands as a testament to what passion, imagination, and energy can achieve.
Wow, that says a lot about Mr. Esquith. He sounds like a pretty special man. Now let's talk a little bit about your community and your family life. Can any of you tell me anything about that?
My parents don't speak English, so I had a hard time in school until I got in Rafe's class.
Our neighborhood's kind of dangerous, so I don't get to play outside as much as I'd like to.
Well, sometimes I hear gunshots at night and during the day.
Now tell me what it's like in room 56. Can you describe the environment in the classroom?
Room 56 is calm. Everyone's civil and kind and helpful. It's like an escape from the rest of the world.
So is it always quiet in your classroom?
No, sometimes it's noisy when we're playing games or working on projects, but it's always organized, and there's always a plan to what is going on even when it's noisy.
Well, classroom management is a big issue in schools these days. It may be the number one issue or challenge facing our classrooms. What does Mr. Esquith do to keep his students in line?
I don't know. Sometimes other teachers try to scare you into following rules or doing what they want you to do. Rafe doesn't do that. He trusts us.
Rafe believes in you. He believes the best about you. He trusts you, and that makes you not want to let him down or lose that trust.
Well, that sounds wonderful, but I know the kids in your class have to disobey sometimes. What happens then?
Usually that kid would have to miss the activity we were working on, and most of the time that's no fun.
Now let's turn the table. Speaking of trust, do you students trust Rafe?
Definitely. Rafe doesn't get mad and yell at us, and he always answers our questions no matter how many kids ask the same thing.
Rafe is really big on being dependable. He always does what he promised, and he's a real big emergency on his word and getting along with students.
This one time in class, when I was in his class, I had trouble with my Bunsen burner, and I was really upset, and he really wanted to make sure that I got the project done. So we got in close to turn on the Bunsen burner, and his hair caught on fire. And he stayed completely calm, but we're all freaking out, trying to figure out what happened. It's his inspiration to why he wrote his book.
I wondered why he named his book Teach Like Your Hair's on Fire. That's quite a story. So since Mr. Esquith doesn't dole out a lot of punishment, he must really believe in the reward system. Does he use a treasure box or give out a lot of treats?
No, Rafe doesn't really get into that a lot. He expects us to behave in good ways because it's the right thing to do, not because we get a prize.
Rafe believes in Colbert's 6 levels of moral development. He actually teaches these levels on his first day of school.
Oh, wow. Do all of you remember the 6 levels?
Level 1 is when a person behaves in order to avoid getting in trouble. A lot of kids are afraid of the punishment, so they're not choosing good behaviors for the right reasons.
Level 2 is when a person behaves so they will get rewards. Still, that is not the best method for behaving well.
Level 3 is when a person chooses good behavior in order to please someone else. They could be trying to please a parent or a teacher, but then what is the motivation to behave when no one else is watching if this is your reason for behaving well?
Level 4 is accepting and following rules because we live in a society of rules. The real lesson should be to really understand the reasons for the rules and why they're important.
Level 5 is doing the right thing because you're considerate of other people. You need to be able to walk in another man's shoes in order to be able to consider his feelings and needs. And then level 6 is having and obeying your own personal code of behavior. This is a level that most people will never reach. Once you've reached level 6 thinking, you choose the right actions and behavior because it's the right thing to do. And you do it for yourself and not anyone else.
Wow, it says a lot that all of you remember those 6 levels. So would you all say that Rafe not only believes in teaching the 3 R's, reading, writing, and math, but also that he considers it his job to help you guys grow and develop into mature, morally conscious adults? Now, I understand that all of you do something very special at Christmas time. Would one of you tell the audience about that? And why do you all say, see you the 24th?
When we leave for Christmas vacation, we always say, see you on the 24th, because we are all getting together again on a very special project called Feed the World. We save extra clothes and toiletries and supplies all year long, and then we organize 2 rooms in the church, one for women and one for men, so we can pass them out to the homeless.
And is there anything else you guys do to prepare for this Feed the World?
Well, I help set up tables and chairs. We hang decorations up and make sure all the guests have a good time.
I'm one of the younger kids, so we always do the entertainment. We work all year on Christmas songs because everyone likes our singing. We get some really strange looks when we practice Jingle Bells in April.
Most of the middle school kids help with the food and serve it. I couldn't wait to be able to do this because this is a job that Rafe saves for the older kids.
Do you all work on any other charity projects?
We work on other projects throughout the year, such as raising money for the Red Cross, and we also give performances to support AIDS research.
So do a lot of former students return to help on these projects?
Yes, my uncle was in his class, and now he helps with our projects.
Now I'd like to turn to a different topic that has probably brought all of you a lot of attention. Rafe and many of his students have become known as the Hobart Shakespeareans. Why have you all earned this name?
Because every year a group of students perform a play by Shakespeare.
And why do you do this project every year? It seems like that's kind of a difficult project.
Rafe likes us to learn the power of language, and we always have fun doing it.
Can you all tell me which play was your favorite to perform?
Well, this is my first year participating. We're working on Measure for Measure right now.
I got to do A Midsummer's Night Dream.
We did Henry IV.
When I was in Rafe class, we did Macbeth.
I had the pleasure of doing Hamlet at the Golden Globe in London, and I have come back to help with several other productions, like the Comedy of Errors.
Devontae, I understand you are the one that thought of inserting a pop song into Henry IV.
Yes, it was a highlight of the show. New people describe our shows as much as rock concerts disguised by Shakespeare.
That's funny. Did you know how to play the guitar before entering Room 56?
No, Rafe taught me how to play. We all learned to play some type of instrument. Some of us learned how to play drums or keyboards.
When I was in Ray's class, he paid for me to take drum lessons. Then I came and taught some of the students. And then they taught some of the students, and it just kept going on.
That's wonderful. Mary Catherine, can you tell us what happens during intermission?
During intermission, the students serve the audience.
And why do you serve the members of the audience?
Because the people in the audience are guests, and we want them to feel welcome here.
That's wonderful. I'd love to see young people take on some of the responsibility. And what is the last thing that happens during one of your class productions?
Rafe always makes us a shield that is hidden behind a large picture of Shakespeare. The shield announces in large bold letters the play for next year. It's always an exciting time for everyone.
And then all the fifth graders shout, "See you next year!"
Well, speaking of endings, it's time for us to wrap up our show. And I'd like to thank all of our guests for coming and answering questions today about Mr. Rafe Esquith. I think it's clear, all of you can see, he is quite a special man and just a world-class educator.